ladies and gents, welcome back. As you can see, me and Mikey are rocking this bitch as a two-piece tonight. So, Charlie has got a, what's it called when they shove the tube up your ass?
Colonic irrigation.
He's got a late night tonight. So
I think he's having it done while he watches Love Island. I think, isn't he?
Yeah. That's his bag, mate. What was it last week? Laughs with his parents, and now colonics in Love Island. But
before whatever blows your hair back, in it. Whatever blows your hair back, mate. Yeah.
This is going to be mental because it's just me and Mikey. But before we go any further, guys, can I ask you just to make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing, pressing the notifications bell. Mikey, if you do not press it, as always, that makes you a what, my friend?
Hey, it makes you a buggerlugs. I'm going for buggerlugs this week because that's what my mum. A buggerlugs with a little clip around here you deserve if you don't like and subscribe. Oh, you'll be getting one of them.
Knock right back at fucking head.
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier. There's no Charlie usually keeps us in check a little bit, don't they? Because we can tend to go a little bit off piece and toe the line with some of his comments. So God knows what's going to happen in this one because Charlie does a good job of it as well, keeping us in check.
The dad, the youngest, but the dad of the group. I'd say.
Yeah, it's like that's enough. You know, his watershed and all that, and we were like, yeah.
As soon as Charlie goes, anyway, it's like, all right, Dad's pulling us back.
Yeah. He pulls right. To be fair, it's good he does it because, you know, we'll be getting cancelled, won't we, mate? We'll be getting, you know, one of them.
But, Mikey, no signings, mate. As to be expected, mate, or what? Were you hoping for a... Well, on that, mate, there was a few murmurings that we might not have got Cameron Archer, but got Adam Armstrong late on, mate. But
yeah,
thoughts on the window was overall, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about it on the last pod, didn't we? That I'm always the optimistic, you know, one, and then it's always wishful thinking with me. So I did think that we'd either bring in a number 10 or a striker, and I think you and Charlie were probably right on the nail on the head, basically said, no, we're not going to get anyone. But yeah, it's just disappointing, isn't it? I think, obviously, when you look at the squad and on paper, you know, it is one of the best squads in the league. But for me, it's like, you know, if like the Pirro gets injured or Brendan Aronson, it don't leave us with many options. So, and for me, I don't think we've gone out and made any real kind of offers as well, because obviously there's been Armstrong that's gone to West Brom. And you're telling me if we'd have gone in for Armstrong, there'd have been no chance of him choosing West Brom over us. So I think for us, it's we potentially looked at players, but we can't guarantee them that playing time that they want. And I think that's probably why we've not gone out and get anyone. But yeah, disappointing because it is a bit of a gamble, isn't it, mate? And I think if we get a few injuries here and there, it can probably come back and bite us on arse, can't it? What do you think, mate?
For sure, mate. It's a gamble. Well, the last time we got promoted, we didn't do any business apart from Big Kev, did we? So it worked out all right in the end. Not in the courtroom, but on the pitch, it turned out to be all right. But yeah, mate. To be honest, now, like, I was a bit annoyed yesterday, and I was like, not annoyed, but I was like, it would have been great to get someone in just to like really, really kick on. But then I thought, well, this is Leeds, mate. It's meant to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's never going to go easy way, is it?
I feel like if we look internally, mate, and not look over the garden fence too much, we should still be pretty happy. I mean, if we go head to head with any of these teams and we look at the signings they've made, I don't really think, maybe with the exception of Edwards at Burnley, I don't think many of them get in our team. But even Edwards, mate, I don't think he starts for us. I don't know about you.
No, you know, exactly the same thing, Isaac. I think I've mentioned it previously as well. I think a lot of Leeds fans have been getting hung up on the transfer activity around us. But when you look at it, who's going to come into our team and who's going to start for us? I can't think of anybody who's gone to. I think Morgan Whittaker's a good signing. I think for Middlesbrough, that's a really good signing. But again, you know, you look at the form of Solomon, of James, of Ramazan, and Onto's coming and scored it. I mean, is he going to be guaranteed a start there? And same as Edwards, really. I think that Edwards one, it's a bit of a strange one, really, isn't it? Because when you look at him on paper, Champions League playing Champions League in Portugal, you would have thought that the lower end or mid-table Premiership teams would be taking it. So I don't know what it is in the background that's gone on there, because when I looked at that, I thought that's an absolute steal. They should be playing at a higher level, really.
Yeah, mate, same. But it's a loan, innit? I thought it was going to be a straight buy initially. And then when I saw the announcement video was good, wasn't it? You put that in the group chat, the friends thing.
Yeah, loved it. Bit of a friends one, yeah. I liked it. They've done some decent ones recently, Burnley, so hats off to them. Their social media fella needs a pay rise because he's absolutely mopping up with it lately. But yeah, there's been some good signings when you look around who's picked up who. I think would it Middlesbrough got that Ilin Jr. as well. I think.
Yeah, mate.
He's were he in Italy? I think he would it Bologna?
He's Villa, mate, isn't he?
Huh?
Villa.
Oh, would it? I thought they loaned him out somewhere abroad as well. But anyway,
sorry, mate. Signed him from Juventus.
Yes.
Is that Villa? Oh no, mate. He got loaned out to Bologna. That's right. You're right,
Bologna.
mate.
Yeah. So again, on paper, that looks like a good signing as well. But I don't think we need to get too hung up on it. I think who's signing who, because like you say, I think when we're on it, we're blowing teams away, and we're in best form that we've been in for a long time. So I won't be too worried, but it is a little bit disappointing that we've not strengthened in them areas.
It's frustrating, mate, as a fan, and I'm sure you'll agree that there were deals there to be done, mate. You look around and everyone's like pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, everyone around us, when I checked on Twitter, Blackburn is pulling 2 strikers out their arse at like the 11th hour. Emmanuel Dennis and Macaulay Woodrow.
Yeah. See, Emmanuel Dennis as well. I think he's gone off boil a little bit, hasn't he, at Forest? But when he were at Watford, he were really good in not only Championship, but when they were in Premiership, he put some real good form together. So I think there's some signings there that potentially are really good, but yeah. We'll have to see how it goes, but I do think it's a bit of a gamble, mate. I really do.
Have you seen the Nickies in though? That Emmanuel Dennis.
What? Have you seen what?
Have you seen the Nickies in?
No. Has he put some timber on?
Fucking hell, mate. There was a Forest team photo that came out, and I was like, looks like he works in the fucking pub, mate. He's like, yeah, mate. Bielsa will be having a fucking fit.
Oh, no. Has he been smashing pork scratchings?
I'll see if I can get it, and I can see if I'm being overly critical of old Emmanuel Dennis, mate. But
is it like that picture of Paddy Kenny? Remember that one years ago that they put on social media where he looked like he put on about 10 stone?
Fucking hell, that was horrendous. When was that? Like that was the first Chileno thing, wasn't it?
It was. I'm sure there must have been some jiggery pokery with a bit of editing there, because he looks absolutely huge, didn't he?
I watched him on Under the Cosh, mate. They're the podcast, and he's been on there. I don't know if you watched any of it, viewers.
I've watched a few bits,
yeah. And he said that Chileno had asked like the club fucking thing to make him seem fatter so they could sack him. I was like, what?
Yeah, but you won't put it past him. He was mad as a box of frogs on a Chileno, so it wouldn't surprise me.
To be fair, he looks quite large in the face there when he signed for Blackburn, but he doesn't look too big.
Oh, I'm getting Weston McKennie vibes there. Big hamster cheeks, aren't you?
Weston McKennie and Big Kev, mate. I'm having flashbacks of bad times in my life.
Yeah. He's doing well though, McKennie now, isn't he? I think he's doing well in Champions. I saw him score. Who scored against? Might have been Barcelona or something like that, but he's getting rave reviews, isn't he, the fat bastard?
Did you see him when they interviewed him about his time at Leeds? It was Micah Richards.
Yeah.
And he went, I went to Harry Potter World that was an hour away. I'm like, it's about fucking 5 hours, you silly bastard. He's in Watford.
Yeah. You could see where he were really kind of holding his tongue there, and he were really struggling to hold back what he wanted to say. I think the only thing he could say about the weather and stuff like that, wasn't it? But yeah.
The reason we're here, mate, is for the Coventry preview.
We are.
Our old mate, Fat Frank, mate. So, touching on Coventry, mate, 4 wins in a row. Fat Frank is well and truly at the wheel, mate. Thoughts on, I think, how many games he's been in charge now? A few, innit?
Yeah, I think it's about 10 games, isn't it, that he's been in charge, something
Right.
like that. So I think he came in. Would it just before Christmas?
Will have been, yeah.
It might have been. It might have even been before that. But yeah, I think they're in really good form, to be fair. And I had a little look at the form earlier on today, and I didn't realise how they've kind of quietly crept up the table. They're only 3 points off the playoff, so they've kind of done that quietly in the background. But let's be honest, it's Fat Frank, and that's a good squad. That's a good squad. That's where they should be, really. And I'm not giving that frigging insufferable Tosspot any credit, because that's exactly where they should be. I'm not, obviously you can tell I'm not a fan of Fat Frank, but yeah, 4 wins on bounce. They'll be up for it, won't they? Like everyone is, really, and they are in good form. So I think it's going to be a tough match for us, really, because I think we've been playing really well recently, and some telling me back in my mind that we might have one of these tough away performances where it might not click.
Yeah, mate. I think we are due a hard game, mate. Especially
That's exactly what I'm kind of alluding to. We're due a hard game,
especially when we have a result like we did on the weekend, mate. And then it usually come back to earth with a bump, don't you, mate? So they're 11th now in the league, Coventry.
Yeah.
3 points off the playoffs, mate. So like you said, mate, they're creeping up there,
Yeah, they've been doing it quietly as well, haven't they? I've not really seen much of their results, really. But like you say, 4 on bounce, they are looking good. I think from what I've seen, I think he has. I'm still not giving him credit, but I think he has kind of switched it up formation-wise for him. I think they're playing. I think they play with 5 at the back now, don't they? And I don't think they played with 5 previously. So they've got them 3 centre backs, and then they've got that. Is it Bidwell and Van Erwick, who were 2 really good wing backs that they've got, who are playing well at the moment. Especially that Van Erwick, I think
he's really good.
He's really good, and I think before we got Bogle, I'd have been happy if Leeds had gone in for him. But yeah, I think it's You think you put it perfectly, Isaac. I think we've got a tough game coming up. Like, we're due a tough game, aren't we?
Yeah. So I've got here, mate. Fat Frank took the job on the 28th of November.
Yes.
Right, we'll run through his results then since he's taken over. So started with
They got pumped, didn't they? One at first games, I think, if I remember rightly.
Coventry, Cardiff was his first game on the 30th.
Yeah.
2-2. Then they won away at Millwall 1-0. Then they lost away at West Brom. Won at home to Hull. Got battered 4-1 by Portsmouth.
That's the game that I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Then they beat Plymouth 4-0. 0-0 with Millwall again. 1-0 with Cardiff at Cardiff. Lost 2-1 to Norwich. Beat Bristol City 1-0. Beat Blackburn 2-0 away. Beat Watford 2-1. Beat Swansea away 2-0. So yeah, mate. They're
doing all right, aren't they? To be fair,
not bad, mate. Pretty much like you said, mate. Where I'd expect Coventry to be.
Yeah.
But mate, they've been raided as well as us, haven't they? Like in transfers the past few years. You think at the squad, I'm not to risk sounding like Jim Bullard, mate, or Freddie Flintoff, or whoever the fuck does it now. Look at what you could have had. Do you know what I mean? If you kept that squad together. Gorkarez at Lisbon is tearing the fucking house down. Well, he was last season. I don't know how he's getting on this year, but
no, it's same. I think it is this season as well, isn't it? He's scoring pretty much every other game. He's doing well in Champions League. I remember he got that hat-trick against Man City, didn't he? Not long ago. And there's talk that we could have had him, wasn't there, for about £14 million.
Instead of Ruta, mate, and Victor wasn't on it. He was like, nah.
Yeah. And obviously Hamer as well. Hamer's gone. Callum O'Hare. So yeah, they've been cherry picked, haven't they, for some of the best talent, and I think that's probably why Mark Robbins probably struggled a little bit at start of season. But they've still got good players. I mean, I think they've got that bench. I've mentioned him earlier, I think before on previous pods. They've got Ben Sheaf, who I'm a bit of a fan of, but he's injured at the moment, and I think they've got Adji Wright as well. He's injured at the moment, who's a good player. But they've still got players who can score, like that Sims and Asante, whatever he's called. So
they are. Asante, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. So they're dangerous. I think obviously we lost there, didn't we, last season as well at Coventry? And
that's for me, mate, where it started to unwind a bit.
Yeah,
at Coventry.
Yeah, that's where it started to dip. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game if I'm being honest. But hopefully, we always play with, and it's been happening a lot lately. I think if we get an early goal, we can kind of take control of that game. But I think the more it drags on, it might be difficult. But we shall see, my friend.
Do you think Dan goes for a similar approach he did against Burnley, where we just set up not to lose, mate? Do you think that might be his approach for the remaining away games? I mean, we must only have, 7 or 8 left now? So let's get a point away from home and try and win our remaining home games? Maybe.
But I think you've probably got to look at how they're going to play as well. And if they're playing 5 at back, I think they play 5-3-2, I think. So I think we've... I don't think he's going to be overly cautious in this game. I think he'll probably stick to his guns and probably play the same team that absolutely demolished Cardiff. And I think we'll, like I said, I think we're in for a tough game.
For me, mate, I said last week that squad that started against, was it Cardiff? We asked whoops.
Yeah, Cardiff.
Yeah, Cardiff, mate, 7-0. I think that's our strongest team, mate. And I know that's might be a hot take. Put me on meltdowns, I don't care. Because Pascal's not in that starting 11, mate. But just to harp on about it enough, mate. That midfield duo of Rothwell and Tanaka, don't get me wrong, Ampadu is probably our best standalone midfielder in the centre of the park. However, I think the way Rothwell and Tanaka complement each other, it's just our best. Mate, I didn't realise he's 30, Rothwell. I thought he was 28.
No. I thought he were knocking 30. So yeah, he's knocking on in terms of football, isn't he?
Yeah, that probably answers my question, mate, about us trying to do the deal for him in the summer. That makes it a little bit easier for me. The fact that he is 30 and we're going into the Premier League hopefully next season. So I'd probably shake his hand at the end of this season with a medal and say, do you know what, mate? Thank you very much.
Thanks for your service. Yeah. But I think to be controversial myself and maybe counter what you just said about the lineup, I probably think our strongest team is at the moment is Ampadu not in it, and obviously Strike won't be playing, but I think everyone fit and how that midfield are playing at the moment, like you say, I think Ampadu will probably have to sit it out because that, when you play him and say Tanaka, it's not as dynamic and forward thinking, is it, in the middle of the park? And I think those two really complement each other perfectly. So I think for me, and he's his captain as well. And Fark always says he's our most important player. So he will probably play him, won't he? But I think for me, we look a much better team with Tanaka and Rothwell in the middle.
And we're a lot better aerially with Pascal at the back, mate, aren't we? So it's a fucking conundrum, mate. It's a countdown conundrum, mate. But
it's a good conundrum, though, isn't it, to have? At least we're...
9 legs.
Yeah, an embarrassment of riches, mate. So we'll take it, won't we?
100%, mate. But did you watch any of the press conference?
I've not caught it, mate. No, I've been in the... when I work from home, I usually watch it, but I've been in office today, so I've not caught much of it today. So have you... did you manage to catch it?
I watched a bit of it, mate, but he was doing my head in a little bit. I mean, I've got a very much love-hate relationship with Dan. Not as a manager, mate, just his personality. Sometimes I'm a bit like, just fuck off, Dan. Last week you were telling me, do you know what I mean? Just sometimes
get back in fucking loft, mate. I'm midget Palmer,
Watch your midget Palmer and shut up and eat your yogurts through the glory hole, you little bastard. Anyway,
from the old yogurt slinger.
Yes, this is going to sound really harsh, mate. But sometimes I just wish he'd fucking say what he's thinking instead of trying to protect the 49ers and stuff.
Yeah.
Last week you were telling us there were targets that you wanted and there were areas for improvement in the squad. And then this press conference, mate, he came out and said, look at Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Liverpool. They haven't signed any players. And I turned to the missus and went, we aren't fucking any of them teams. We're in the Championship.
We're in Championship. We couldn't be further from them teams if we tried. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get a gist of that sometimes where he tries to protect the hierarchy. But I think he's the common line that he's been saying is we won't fall asleep in the transfer market, but we were in a coma, weren't we? You know, we've literally done nothing. So, but yeah, like I said, I missed it. So, any, I think any injuries or out like that, or full?
Nothing, mate. Only big Paddy B. Speaking of comas, I think Paddy B's in one, mate, because I don't think we'll see him again. But no, mate, clear bill of health, mate, like you said, other than old Patrick. So looks like we're going into Coventry pretty strong, mate. I mean, I'm just forgetting Bamford plays for us now. I'll be honest, he's gone, mate.
Yeah, he's done in it. Bless him. I think I said it before, didn't he? They just need to. I'd say let him go, but what I mean by that is like
put him down.
yeah. Well, yeah, just do, just finish him off while Stuart Dallas or Cooper strokes his head and just,
That's that bastard, mate. That's where he's going.
Yeah, that's it. Get him off to Switzerland in one of them pods. You know what I mean? And just have it done with. You know what I mean? Off at wage, Bill.
Stop taking $20,000 a week and do the right thing.
Exactly.
This is why we need Charlie, by the way. We're on about killing Patrick Bamford at Dignity.
Yeah, by lethal injection while Cooper and Dallas stroke his hair. It's all right, Patrick. You're going to a better place now.
Calvin will be there, like wiping his tears. We're like, oh, Pat.
Yeah, bless him. Yeah, I saw some rumours. It's probably bollocks, but there were talk of Wrexham, weren't there, and Blackburn looking at him. But obviously, no one's going to.
I think he would have probably been the J. Rodriguez signing they did, mate, if he wasn't injured. I thought of that as soon as they signed him.
Yeah, I agree, mate. But if he were, do you think he'd have been off if he wasn't injured? Do you think we'd have got rid of him? Yeah.
But mate, speaking of, do you know when I was categorically fucking certain that we weren't doing any business yesterday?
Yeah.
When the club, through like the club journalists like Popey and Baron Cross and that, put out, well, we've rejected a £10 million bid from Betis from Matty Joseph. I was like, I'm going to fucking bed. This is dumb.
That's when you know it's curtains, don't you, when they're coming out with stuff like that.
Yeah. I was like,
are you happy? Are you happy that we rejected that? Obviously, we need the numbers now, don't we? Because we didn't bring anyone in. But do you think 10 mil is a good price for League One, Matty?
Yeah. I said to my missus, I was like, oh, they said they turned down a bid. She went, oh, how do you feel about that? I went, I'd fucking flew the plane myself. But
knowing our luck, mate, we'd assault him over there, and it fucking turned into David Villa or something, wouldn't it? It'd been a crime. Yeah, ended up at Barcelona and all sorts. But yeah.
I would sacrifice my left ball if that kid ever played for Barca. It will never happen, mate.
No.
But 10 million, mate, if I put it on the table for you now, slide you a check. I think they said 10.2 or 10.4 million for Matty Joseph. You're the we've seen the pictures, mate. You are the now, what's it called? Director of football at Leeds United, mate. Are you accepting that bid?
Oh, I think if you look at it on paper, you accept it and you let him go, I think. But I think when you look at we've not brought anyone in, and you look at Bamford, off to Dignitas, and it's you can't do it really, can you? As frustrating as it's been, you just need that body in there, don't you? Yeah. You just need that. You just need him to kind of prop up the numbers and give us that option.
Yeah, mate. I'd be ringing Adam Armstrong's agent and saying, "Where is he?" Oh, he's on the M6. I'm like, right, get on the M1, go north. We'll see you in a bit. But
it'd have been strange if we'd have got Armstrong, wouldn't it? After he absolutely broke his heart.
I would have felt, mate. That guy caused me a lot of pain this summer.
Oh yeah, he did me. That's what I think he scored in a few other fixtures throughout the season as well, didn't he? In the league games as well. I think he got 1 or 2 in them games as well. But he's a good striker, and I think he's exactly what we'd look to bring in, someone a bit more clinical up top and can lead the line.
You took the words out of my mouth, mate, there. When it got rumoured, I don't think it was ever really concrete that we were looking at Adam Armstrong. I was like, in this system, he would be fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I thought he would take, might be a hot take. I think he'd have probably done better in this system than Archer would have, mate. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I think, when you look at, if you compare him with Cameron Archer, I think he leads the line a little bit better. I think he's a little bit more clinical in front of goal. And I think as wide players could probably feed off him a little bit better than what they would Cameron Archer, because he's not as physical, I don't think, as well. And he's more of a runner getting behind. But I think Armstrong is more of a complete striker, I think, in my opinion. And I think as wide players would really benefit with playing with him.
Yeah, I think just them run. Well, I'm basing this off the run he made at Wembley, mate, where he like arced his run round and then got wiped through the right back and centre half and scored, mate. But I still have nightmares about that fucking goal. Anyway, moving on, mate. Is it weird that he's ended up at West Brom? I know he's played for Mowbray in the past.
Yeah.
So there might be.
Yeah, I find it a strange move, because if you look at likes of Burnley, they're crying out for a striker. I thought he'd done a really good job there. I think Middlesbrough, although did they bring someone in? Has Latte Laffy even gone yet? Yeah. So you don't see that happening there. Although I choose him over Iheanacho all day long. So if you look at teams in and around kind of the top 6, which West Brom are, but I think he could be playing in a team that plays a little bit more better football and that's more suited to him. But yeah, good luck to him, but not too much.
He went on, I think when he was about 18, he went on to Coventry, mate, when they were like shit. Remember when they had all the financial trouble? I remember
like League 2.
Yes, mate.
And I think
down. Absolute piss out of League 2.
When he was like Geordie, isn't he? I think. Yeah, he came through at Newcastle, didn't he? So
he's a lot younger than you think as well.
Yeah, so when you look at it, I thought he was about 30 or something, but I think
27.
Yeah, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. But do you think there's an element of Leeds looking at strikers now and thinking, if we get them in now, are they going to be strikers that we need if we do go up? So do you think there's a little bit of that within their decision making?
Yes, mate, I do. I don't think this might be ultimately the reason why we haven't got anyone in. I don't think there is a player now, the likes of a Cameron Archer or an Armstrong, that we try and do deals for that don't include a mandatory clause to buy type thing. What's it called? Obligation to buy is what I'm after.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a comment in, mate. Hi, Paul. How's it going? Hi, lads. Great and for the weekend. I hope can play come to CBS on Wednesday. I can assume that if you don't bring your A game, you will lose. Can't wait. Bring it on. Fuck off, Paul.
Yeah. Take it, Paul's a Coventry fan then, is he?
Yeah. I'm only joking, Paul, mate. But nah, we'll tan your ass. Paul.
We are going to spank you, Paul. But are you, Paul, just to throw a question out there, what's your first impressions, or what's your take on Frank Lampard and how he's coming to the club? Has he done anything massively different? Is he playing a different way? Is it being a good appointment for you, basically? So,
would you lick his ball spot, Paul, or not?
Yeah. Give it a good old lick.
I reckon Paul's into ball spots anyway. Yeah. But should we go on to our predicted 11s then, mate? It's going to be pretty fucking simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's go for it. I'm going to go nice and quick and say it, same team. Same team, yeah. But if Fact said there's no, but then if you look at it, we've got the FA Cup coming up on Saturday, haven't we? So although I would go for the same team, do you think Fark might tinker a little bit? Do you think he might tinker with the wide players, because that's where he usually does his changes, doesn't he? Or he might.
I don't know, mate. Everyone's scoring, so it's really harsh to drop something, isn't it? Yeah. But I mean, Nonto scored, but then for the rest of the game, I don't really think he did much. But then we were about 6-0 up, so he didn't really need to. But mate, one thing I didn't touch on against Cardiff, how desperate for a goal was Ramazani. He was shooting all sorts of places, bless him.
He was chomping at the bit, wasn't he? Did you see him after the game singing Leeds are falling apart? Did you see that clip of him?
No, mate. I love that.
Yeah. So he was kind of singing it with fans and stuff like that. But I think just to go back to team news, and I think if we had got someone in it'd have been a perfect opportunity to rotate Aronson, because he's literally played every minute of every game, and I think there could be a risk of him getting injured, and then if he does get injured, who's going to come in and play in that position? So I think a number 10 were probably more important for me than a striker.
Then, mate, touch wood, that doesn't happen. But if that happens, we probably put Perot in the 10 and start Matty Joseph up top, don't we?
Yeah.
And I don't think we really do that well in that position, to be honest. I feel like, although we give Brendan a lot of shit, mate, we call him Feed the Rat because he's a little rat bastard.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the goal scoring stats, mate. We should have about four players by the time May comes around that are over 10 goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think they're all. I think is Dan James on about 8 now?
8, 9, I think, yeah.
8, 9. I think. Excuse me, mate. I think Aronson's on about 8 as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Solomon 7, 6, 7,
mate, I think, and then Perot's already over, I think. So
I know we give Perot a lot of stick, but I think he's only 3 goals off of being top scorer in the league now, isn't he?
Well, yeah, with Borges as his bandmate, it might be a good time. Let me get the championship.
He is joint second top scorer, I think, with Josh Madger. I think they're both on 12 now, and then obviously that Borges signs is on 15. So I know we do criticise him a little bit, but it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up top scorer this season.
Well, he's got 17 goal involvements, mate. That's with goals and assists in 30 games. It's not bad, that, is it?
Yeah, you can't grumble, really, can you? I just think it's his lethargic approach to the game. I think that kind of winds people up, and I think the fact that how we played against Burnley, where he looked like he was frigging towing a caravan, to a point where he played against Cardiff, he were coming deep, he were getting ball, he were much sharper, he were feeding it out wide. So I think that's why fans get a little bit frustrated and think he should be doing that every match, not frigging stoned off his nut.
Yeah, Paul back again. Tactically, he's light years in front of Robbins. Same player. This is going to be a battle. Seriously, you need to up to it. I will not give you that room. Cardiff did. Paul, you're 11th in the league.
Yeah, mate. Listen, we appreciate you commenting and stuff like that, but how many games is it since we've lost the game? 10, maybe more. 10,
12,
11,
mate.
12. Yeah. So I know you've won 4 on bounce, mate, but the big boys are coming to town.
Yeah, Cardiff didn't lose at 8, mate. Look what happened to them. You'll be lucky if you come away with fucking single figures, Paul.
And I'm not sure about that comment about tactically light years ahead of Robin.
Come on, mate. I've seen Lampard a lot.
He is the most inept manager I've seen, I think, when in terms of tactically. You look at him at Chelsea, the players he had there at his disposal, couldn't get a tune out of them. Everton had some decent players as well. I think I've never seen him change a system and do anything differently.
That fucking Derby team.
Yeah.
Mason Mount, Harry Wilson, Fikayo Tomori, Jack Marriott.
Yeah.
Mate, come on.
Great players.
In the fucking playoffs.
But I've never seen him go to a team and really shake things up tactically. You look at when he went to Chelsea, didn't really change much apart from play a few kids. When he went to Everton, didn't change any tactics, just stuck with the same players. Had his hands tied behind his back a little bit in terms of bringing players in, but you don't see him coming in and making any kind of wholesale tactical changes. But has he done that at Coventry? I'm not sure. I just think he's got a squad that should have been doing a lot better at start of season, and now it's kind of finally they've got a rocket up their arse and starting to play a little bit.
So, as a Coventry fan, Paul, you're telling me that you prefer Frank Lampard over Mark Robbins, that I think, if I'm correct, mate, picked you up in League 2?
2, yeah.
And took you to the Championship. Wow. Okay, mate.
That is some hot take, is that?
We'll see you on our next Marching on Meltdowns episode, Paul.
Yeah, we'll be clipping that, won't we, Isaac, mate? We'll be clipping that one because
34
Mark
minutes.
Robbins, when you look at when he left and you saw the outpour of love for him, it reminded me of when Bielsa left Leeds.
Yeah.
So if that's the general consensus across Coventry fans, I think you've got kind of short memories, because Mark Robbins were absolutely brilliant for us. I thought he was an exceptional manager. He just had a bad start, and he should have stayed. He should still be there now, in my opinion. I think he deserved a little bit more loyalty than what he got.
Yeah, then their owner came out, didn't he, and did like a fucking full statement saying, "I've had to make the hardest decision of my life, sacking Mark Robbins." I was like, "Fuck off, mate."
Bollocks. Where's he now, Robbins?
Stoke,
that's it, yeah. Yeah, he's at Stoke.
Have you played Stoke yet, Paul? Under Robbins, I hope he fucking spanks you.
Yeah, I do as well, because that's very disrespectful, Paul, if I'm being honest, to a manager that did a lot for you, to have that, that prick, holding that prick in high regard like that. It's I expect better from Coventry fans, if I'm being honest.
Who's your assistant team? Because he always brings in like some big hitters. Like, who did he have?
Like Jody Morris floating about with him and stuff like
Jody
that.
Morris, Ashley Cole at one point.
Oh yeah, I think he's still with him, Ashley Cole.
And who's that guy that everyone fucking raved about him as an assistant? And I think he got the Swansea job in the Prem, and he was fucking dog shit. He used to be like his assistant.
Clement?
Not Clement. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's Clement, isn't it?
Is it Paul?
Paul Clement, yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
He was fucking turd him, and everyone raved about him for ages.
Yeah.
Next England manager and that. I was like, fucking hell, I hope not.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Coventry and Frank Lampard's bald spot. Oh, Paul's here again.
Here we are, Paul. Let's see it.
We will agree to disagree. You will know you've been in a game. I agree, you're the best team in the league. That's facts. Mark Robbins is a legend, but had run his course with this team.
Paul. Run his course. I mean, you weren't even halfway through season. That's my take on that. You weren't even halfway through season, and you cast him away like he'd not done anything for you.
No loyalty in Coventry.
No loyalty. No loyalty. I expected better from Coventry fans. Maybe we'll know we're in a game. We may know that we're in a game, but I think you'll probably know even more that you've been in a game, if I'm being honest.
Oh, Paul. Will you come back on the reaction, Paul, please? I'd love for you to.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. And if you give us if I don't think we'll lose, but even if we do, come back on, mate. We'll discuss it. We'll eat a bit of humble pie.
I tell you what, Paul, if you beat us, you can actually come on the pod if you're up for that, mate, and give us an idea.
Shall we have him on?
We'll have him on, mate. We'll have him on
with his voodoo dollar, Mark Robbins.
And actually, I'll extend that over to it, Paul. If you want to come on after we beat you 9-0, then you're more than welcome, mate, as well.
Yeah.
Anyone can get it. Anyone's welcome on. But the dad will be here. The dad of the group might be here, so we might be a little bit more well-behaved and friendly.
Yeah, he'll keep us in check, won't he? But maybe we just don't let him on next one, so we can kind of.
Yeah, I've changed the password for StreamYard anyway.
So we can get people on and abuse them.
Yeah, mate.
And he'll be like that. That's enough, boys. And we're like, oh yes, Charlie.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Charlie. Sorry. Watershed.
Loves a watershed shout as our child. Mackie's on the bunker. Go on, son.
That's it. It's the only thing that'll get rid of this cold, mate.
But mate, we will finish off with score predictions then, mate. So I want your final predictions and scorers. Paul, feel free to join in, mate, if you want.
Yeah, Paul, let's hear it, mate. But I'll go, yeah. I think Paul might have be onto something in terms of, we might be in for a game. I, too, think we might be in for a bit of a game off them. So I'm going to say 3-1 to Leeds. I think we might see a tight first half, maybe 1-1, and then we'll run away with it in second half. Quite specific there, mate. And scorers. Do you want me to say scorers, Isaac?
Yes, please, put it.
I'm going to go for, I think, Spliffmeister General is going to get in on the act. I can't look past Dan James and Solomon again. They're absolutely white hot at the moment. So I'm going to go with that kind of front three, although we have Aronson there as well. But that front three, I think, are going to show up again tomorrow. What about you, mate? I love it. I knew that was coming. 4-0.
Oh,
that would be a
mate. Big Daddy Joel, Brendan, and the two wingers. I love your arrogance. Hope you score. See you after the show. I like it, Paul. Come on.
You know what? We like a bit of needle, don't we?
Paul, what does that PUSB mean? I see a lot of Coventry fans saying that.
Yeah, I do.
Push up shit bras. I agree.
Push it up the shit box.
Push up the shit box.
Yeah. Let us know what that means. But listen, mate, if you do, see you after the show. 2-0 Cov. We'll eat that humble pie. Gladly. But
Yeah, mate. 4-0 for me. Big Daddy Joel. Feed the Rat. Solomon Dan James.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Yeah. Do you think Leeds fans will break out the Stop Crying Frank Lampard?
Play up Sky Blues. I prefer push up shit bras, to be honest.
yeah, push up shit box. That's what I prefer. But yeah, do you think Leeds fans will break out into song of Stop Crying Frank Lampard?
Absolutely, mate. I think that's a cert. What's their song? Remember the Enemy from Coventry? Remember the Enemy? Big in like 2008, 2010.
Oh right, yeah.
Like in these towns, mate, they love that shit. I've seen the Enemy when I went to the Oasis play in Coventry, like in 2009.
Were they good?
Enemy are decent, mate. If you're into that type of music, I mean, when I was young, I used to like love Oasis and like that mod type culture music, mate. So
yeah,
mate, it was class. But the Ricoh Arena is a shithole, so I'm looking forward to getting 3 points there.
Yes. And Paul, the invitation is definitely there, mate, to come on to the next one. We'll
fit.
It is, yeah. So it'll be, when will the next one be? Thursday, will it?
Thursday, mate. If Charlie's chronic isn't too bad.
Yes.
Have a Rennie, Charlie. Your ass will be fine, mate. But oh, he's being nice now. Come on, Paul. Don't be nice. Hope it's a great game, lads. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
I'd much prefer it if you just called us cunts or something like that. Go on, Paul. Come on, call us a cunt. Go on.
You set a cunt. Anyway, before Charlie goes into an epileptic fit, we will leave it there.
He's going to watch it and say, you two again.
Paul, love you, mate. I hope everyone enjoyed that. It was a bit rogue with me and Mikey, as it will always be if it's just me and Mikey, the naughty school children of the South Stand View. But guys, thank you very much for watching. As the gaffer would say, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Paul, that includes you. I know you're a big fan of this channel now, mate. Yeah. You might even be the podcast soon, mate. So
special appearance from Paul incoming.
Yep. He can give us the tactical analysis. Guardiola / Lampard, seeing as they're both of that ilk. They might be of a fucking similar level soon.
Guardiola's having an absolute mare at the moment, isn't he?
Mate, his missus was running the show at City, I'm telling you.
Must be. I think that's who scratched his frigging cheeks off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. But, right, guys, we will leave it there and we will reconvene with you on Thursday. Fuck Coventry City.